Well, I think what we have to do is we have to monitor. We have one. I mean, think about it. We spent, are committed to spend, hasn't all been spent yet, $3 trillion. That's not an insignificant amount of money. We all have to remember we're going to end this year with $26 trillion worth of debt. And someday that's going to have to get paid back. Whether we pay it back or our kids and our grandkids, that's going to have to be paid back. So we've got to make sure this money is spent well. I want to monitor what we're doing to make sure, one, if there's abuse of existing money, let's stop that. And if we need to do more to help those that have lost their jobs, help the small businesses, I want to do that. And we have to get liability protection for our first responders and our small businesses because they're going to be concerned. You know, the businesses I've talked to a lot of them. They have a lot of concern about reopening and what the risk is financially if they're going to get sued. So I think, you know, we've got to focus on this. But what I'm not going to do is have Florida taxpayers bail out the ridiculous budgets of places like California, Illinois, or New York. These states don't want to live within their means ever. They want to just keep running up debt. They get behind in their pension plans, and then they expect us to bail them out, and that's not going to happen.
Becky.
Hey, Governor Scott, those are pretty strong words. I know that Illinois has stepped up and one of the senators, the state senators there, maybe the president of the Senate there, tried to pull a ridiculous move. But I don't think a lot of the resources that states like New York and New Jersey right now are asking for are to bail out their pension problems, which no question, it's an issue. It's been a long-standing problem. It's a huge problem. But you are looking at states that have been massively shut down because they are the hot zones. These are the places where all of these hit. They've been ordered to shut down, and as a result, businesses aren't open. There is not tax revenue that's coming in. These economies have been hit incredibly hard, and it sounds like you were saying, forget it, no more.
Becky, here's what we've done already. And put things in perspective. The states only collect their own revenues to the extent of a little over $1 trillion. We've already given them access to over $1 trillion. They get $1 trillion in a year. We've already given them access to $1 trillion, $150 billion, 100% of the coronavirus cost. We've given them $50 billion for Medicaid. Medicaid costs are down. We've given them $30 billion for their school costs. Their school costs are probably down. $270 billion in other federal agencies and $500 billion in loans. So if somebody wants to come back and tell me that they need help to make sure those that don't have a job or help their small businesses, I'm completely open to it. And by the way, what are they doing to solve their own problems? Are they cutting their costs now to watch out? Like what businesses are doing? I don't see it. I mean, they're not looking at their budgets and being tough on them right now to figure out how they can save money. I've not been seeing that. And we can all and the money.
I have.
If we give them, you just can't believe what they're asking for. I mean, we've given them over $1 trillion now. What else do we have to do?
Governor, when hurricanes hit Florida, I've never seen a response where people from blue states say, forget it, we are not sending help for an emergency that hit them through no fault of their own.
Becky, that's a good example. I had 4 hurricanes as governor. The federal government didn't cover all my costs. They didn't cover 100% like we're doing with coronavirus. We're covering all their costs. That doesn't happen with hurricanes. On top of that, never did they come and say, oh, you might have a little bit of lost revenue.
You're not covering all of their costs.
We absolutely are. We're covering all their costs for coronavirus.
You are not covering all the cost if for coronavirus and coronavirus only, but there is an economic impact that comes with that is not related, that is not covered by what's happened here. And it's hard to say that that's not related, Governor.
Becky, we've given them $50 billion for Medicaid. That was about a third of my cost, all right, when I was governor. All right, and Medicaid costs are down. We gave them $30 billion for schools. Their school costs are down. That's another 30%. We've given them $270 billion in other federal agencies and $500 billion in addition in loans. So
in other words, you are saying they're done. You've had enough.
If somebody wants to explain to me how we have not helped the states, I'm all in. But when they want to come and say in contrast, with a hurricane, no one covers lost revenue. I had lost revenue when I was a governor. I had 4 hurricanes.
You have insurance companies that step in and help those businesses because insurance contracts are written to make sure that if a business is interrupted, they get protection. That has not been the case here. Insurance doesn't cover pandemic or shut down a business as a result. The losses here are phenomenal. And I'm not saying that every bill needs to get covered, but I also don't think it's fair to say that you have covered the losses directly related to COVID-19. When that bill was written, it said that you could pay for the police officers who were doing time simply for coronavirus things. It could not pay for any of the police officers who were being paid beyond that, for the first responders being paid beyond that. It would not pay for the teachers, for any of the other things that happened. I think, Senator Scott, there is a realistic look to say that there are small businesses that aren't going to be coming back. And it's not for a lack of effort with PPP and all of these other programs that have been out there, but trying to implement a program like that has left a lot of people behind. And I think that's the frustration that you're seeing spill out over into the streets.